Victoria has been confirmed as the host of the 2026 Commonwealth Games, with regional parts of the state set to host the majority of events. Key points: the 2026 Commonwealth Games will be held predominantly in regional Victoria. The 2026 Commonwealth Games will be held predominantly in regional Victoria. The opening ceremony will be at the MCG, but most events will be in Geelong, Bendigo, Ballarat and Gippsland. The opening ceremony will be at the MCG, but most events will be in Geelong, Bendigo, Ballarat and Gippsland. There will be 4 athletes' villages in the regional centres hosting events. Regional hubs will be set up in Geelong, Bendigo, Ballarat and Gippsland, with athletes' villages to be established in each centre. The opening ceremony will be held in Melbourne at the MCG, with the rest of the events to be held the regions. Shepparton will also host sporting and cultural events as part of the Games. Premier Daniel Andrews said the Games would be an opportunity to showcase regional parts of the state and to invest in sporting infrastructure in those areas. This will be a Commonwealth Games like no other. We promised we wouldn't be doing a rerun of 2006, as successful as that was, he said. This is also about creating jobs, some nearly 4,000 jobs during the Commonwealth Games, and some 3,000 enduring jobs thereafter. The president of the Commonwealth Games Federation, Dame Louise Martin, said the 2026 event would be unlike any other. Commonwealth Games Australia and the Victorian government have set out a bold and innovative vision for hosting our major multi-sport event, she said. In Victoria, we believe we have found the perfect partner for the next stage of our journey. The government announced in February it would enter a 2-month negotiation period with the Commonwealth Games Federation over commercial aspects of the event. M to mute, left and right arrows to seek, up and down arrows for volume. Watch 2 minutes 35 seconds 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Rural Victoria confirmed to host the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Events spread across 4 regional centres. Commonwealth Games organisers said 16 sports had so far been confirmed for the Games, with more to be added later. The initial plan for hosting events includes Geelong, aquatics, beach volleyball, gymnastics, hockey, table tennis, triathlon. Geelong, aquatics, beach volleyball, gymnastics, hockey, table tennis, triathlon. Ballarat, athletics, boxing. Ballarat, athletics, boxing. Bendigo, lawn bowls, netball, squash, weightlifting. Bendigo, lawn bowls, netball, squash, weightlifting. Gippsland, badminton, rugby sevens. The cricket T20 event will be held across all 4 centres, and the road cycling event will be between Gippsland and Bendigo. Bendigo will also host lawn bowls, para-lawn bowls, netball and squash. Bendigo Bowls Club President Jeff Briggs said it was fantastic news for the town. Bendigo has really got the reputation of being the premier bowls location in regional Victoria, he says. We have state championships here, and our greens are reputed to be some of the best in the state. Christina Christic representing Australia. Mr. Briggs says he hopes more young people will get involved in the sport. He said the clubs were likely to benefit from heightened interest. It will certainly be a boost for all of the clubs, Mr. Briggs said. There will be so many spectators along with all the participants. It will be just wonderful for the clubs that have chosen to host these events. Mr. Briggs hoped younger people might be inspired to try the sport. It might be just the impetus needed to make younger people join in with the clubs in the town, he said. Shepparton Mayor Kim O'Keefe told ABC Radio Melbourne the Games will re-energise Victoria's regions. It's just an incredibly broad economic opportunity for our regions. But how exciting! Coming out of COVID and for people to be able to come out to our regions, we welcome them, she said. Loading. Calls for broad approach. The Victorian opposition welcomed the announcement, but said it wanted to see events spread across more regional towns. It's not just about Geelong, Ballarat and Bendigo, it should be about places like Hamilton, Horsham, Wangaratta, Echuca, opposition leader Matthew Guy said. Victorian Liberal Senator Sarah Henderson called on Daniel Andrews to move the opening ceremony from the MCG to Cardinia Park in Geelong. Chair of the Wimmera Southern Mallee Regional Partnership David Jurchinke said even regions not hosting events stood to benefit with the right support. Hopefully the outlying towns can pitch for accommodation and training facilities, he said. Mr. Jurchinke said other regions should be given the opportunity to upgrade and build facilities and accommodation. But also making sure accommodation in an already tight market can then be used post-games for low-cost accommodation, emergency housing, or where the gaps are in those regions, he said. If they are portable type, maybe those units can be picked up and taken around the regions where we need them. It will be the 6th time the Commonwealth Games has been held in Australia, with Sydney hosting in 1938, Perth in 1962, Brisbane in 1982, Melbourne in 2006, and the Gold Coast in 2018.